Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2, the ESL Open Cup Europe Finals. I want to say number 56. It's been over a year, and we still have the same players. How boring is that? Not boring at all. What's wrong with you? I'm happy to introduce D. Mauer, the German Protoss, the wall that must be climbed to achieve victory many times in these Open Cups. It's showtime. And in the bottom right, a worthy challenger, probably the favorite, the French Terran player from Team Liquid, known for his micro and also his macro, his stunning strategies and his tantalizing tactics. The Terran in the blue. It is the Clem de la Clem. Terran versus Protoss. I've seen a lot of different variations on I really need to kill the Protoss in a timely manner. And that's about, like, that still seems to be the prevailing thought. There hasn't been too much, I don't know if creativity is the word I'm looking for, but usually it's either I'm doing an early proxy and some crazy aggression, or I'm going to try like a Widow Mine drop and then sit in my base, or I didn't do any of those things and now I'm sitting in my base till I'm maxed out. It mostly seems to be on the Terran player. There are some Protoss, I'm looking at you, parting, that will try to get up in their business, assuming they aren't proxy void raying, of course. Maybe with blink stalkers or some sort of timing. But the vast majority of Protoss will try to figure out what the Terran's up to and deal with that, and then survive long enough to get to the death ball. And Showtime is definitely, you don't get nicknamed the wall because of your intense proxy aggression. Let's put it that way. So, as defensive Protoss go, I don't know if you can get more literal than Showtime. He's starting out with the Twilight Council. Adept, shading across for scouting for information. If it gets an opportunity to be annoying, of course, it's an Adept. It's going to be. That probe gave it a tap on the shoulder. That SCV tagged it for death. And oh, wait a second. And it does only take a single hit from a probe and 2 Adept hits to kill an SCV or a Marine. So that probe marking those SCVs has led to 3 easy kills. And you don't just let an Adept in your base. You gotta lock the door. This isn't Canada. Okay, you can't just... why? Of all the things to do here, I'm not sure. Just straight up a mistake? Did he think he was trapping the Adept and that would somehow be a good thing? Either way, now Showtime has all the information he needs. He knows there's nothing fancy coming out. Tech-wise, there's not going to be a bunch of Hellions. There's not going to be a bunch of mines. In fact, he built a Hellion first, and while there might be a mine drop eventually, it's not a big threat right now. Blink is on the way. He's getting a second gate and a robotics facility and 2 more gases before a third. So Showtime not really focusing on unit production, but going to expand his tech, maybe a Robo Bay right before going for a third. Wow, the Reaper and the Probe getting in there. Clem going to do whatever he can. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what all that gas... Like, you usually don't see 9 probes on minerals and 6 probes on gas this early. I'm interested to see where Showtime's going with it. Robotics Bay, yes. Before that third, because he knows eventually Clem's going to have the bow production. Trying to get out ahead of that. And Clem's up here with... you know you're not facing a Zerg, Clem. Right? We're never entirely convinced. There's a medevac coming across. Oh, with Marines. Blink will be done, but will it be done before the medevac? Is he just gonna dunk on him right here? Oh, wow. Okay. Just get up in his grill. Where's another Warpin? We're looking for it. Some more Stalkers coming down from the high ground. 1 Stalker taken down. Is Clem just up in his grill, getting there before Blink is done. Blink still 12 seconds out. Grenade gets involved. Clem on top of the probes, and the probes really not happy about the situation. More Marines being targeted here. Clem going for the defenseless workers. Revenge for the SCVs earlier. The Blink Stalkers will finish off everything else. Clem racks up 9 workers here, and the Raven chases down the Observer, so... yeah, that's not supposed to happen. Clem, you're not supposed to just show up with all of your early game units and kill probes. Showtime is also confused. Showtime may have forgotten, like, he's building a Disruptor. He's now getting a Dark Shrine, which does not indicate confidence in his late game potential. Let's put it that way. He gets one half finished mule, half timed out mule. I think Showtime is feeling pretty awkward about the situation. This definitely is advantage to Clem here with that awkward time. He lost all his units, but killing probes right as Showtime was trying to transition in heavy tech is really going to slow him down. Now Showtime's over here trying to do some sneaky strats. There's no Warp Prism. The Warp Prism headed another direction. Right now, what Showtime is trying to get Clem to come out of his base, just come a little bit outside so I can murder you in the face. But is Clem gonna... Here's Clem's vision. That is a tank. If he could get rid of the tank, some decent micro retargeting. Blinks back. Oh, come on out. Come on, don't worry about it. Oh, come on, come on. It's okay, it's fine, it's fine. There's nothing to... Oh, no, wait a second. I don't want to meet your friends, never mind. Oh, my mom told me about people like you. Also, your name is Stalkers, I mean, come on. Showtime realizes that he's... Yeah, 1 Banshee. Showtime, you're not cut out for this. Showtime tries to do some sneaky strats and ends up losing half his mineral line to 1 Banshee. Oh, God. Yeah, this is going from bad to actually terrible. Of course, nothing that a few Dark Templar, some Cape boys. Oh, my. Yeah, Clem definitely not expecting that one. This game has gone sideways again, and now it's both above and below where you'd expect it to be. It's everywhere but it's supposed to. I don't even know. That wasn't even a sentence. But dropping the deet back in. He goes right with the confidence into the scan. Waits it out. There is a Raven. Not gonna... Okay. The Raven angrily stares at it. So the SCV kills are good, but not good enough. Like, 55 to 35 workers. Yeah, sure. You see the Mule Valleys and the probe peaks there in the incomes as they dramatically swing as workers are devastated on either side. Clem's still, like, if the Terran is even... Look at the upgrades. Look at the production tab is sometimes a bit misleading, but not here. Disruptors, Blink Stalkers, and Prayers for Showtime. The thing is, there's not enough army outside the OEC set. 1, 2, 3! Oh my... Oh, but it's not enough. Is that a good target? I don't... Showtime unleashes a barrage, but there's simply not enough left over. If half of Clem's units survive, it's enough. Showtime is left in an awkward position of having to do big damage. Finds the Raven. Something there, especially with the DTs. Force field, but Clem picks up, abandons a few to the Purification Nova. There are 4 charge lots now, but the Warp Prism hit by a Widow Mine. Very uncomfortable with the situation, but will survive for now. The Armory just now starting for Clem. Widow Mines force the pullback. Showtime is looking for drops, it looks like, on the left side. The Widow Mines are doing something here, but Showtime working with what was a tough situation now turning a little further in his direction. Clem has to be wary of the Disruptors. At any point, they could end the game. But at any point, they could end the game in both directions. They're out on the map. He fires a couple more shots, but everything is dodged by Clem. The Stalker's trying to get a hold of the medevacs. The Disruptors took the wrong path of all the units to leave out alone. Clem holds on. He's got 1-1 done. The Forges are just now starting for Showtime, and that is far too late, as Clem is actually getting his armory. Despite his best efforts, Clem's going to have an upgrade lead in this match. Terran players not well known for getting 2-2 before the 1-1 of Protoss. In fact, most Terran players stop at 1-1 altogether. But Clem has already picked up. He really doesn't need that many units to defend here. 1 charge lot split off. He can maybe fire a warning shot here. He does. The tank is dangerous. Another shot finishes off the tank, but he only has 3 Disruptors to burn. Is there a recall for Showtime? Clem drops on top. The base trade begins. The full warp-in. Fully commits. Base being taken here. Clem holding the high ground for now. The orbital command forced to lift. Recall is required to save this game. Disruptor targeted down, taken out. Not going to be able to get the shot off. What else is left on the other side? Clem fighting heads up. Widowmine blinks out. Archons underneath the orbital command. They'll handle this themselves. Bringing it back. Where's the recall? He hasn't used... There's not much left to recall for Showtime. Clem's actually up 50 supply, despite a heated exchange. Clem has had the momentum ever since he's been continually killing those probes. From the very start. From the 1.5 base aggression. Yes, the stalkers are chasing, but who's stalking who? Showtime, once again, he survives. But at what cost? 2-2 for Clem is on the way, and every second that Showtime isn't keeping Clem busy is another second that Clem is consolidating his economy. His production is coming back online. His upgrades are getting closer to finishing. It's not getting easier for Showtime as time goes on. 6 more probes go down to the kind of almost afterthought Widowmines. And that leaves Clem with a nice amount of workers to Showtime 64. Giving him an advantage economically. Giving him an advantage in infrastructure and an advantage in army. Right now, Showtime, all he has are his stunning good looks and his micro. Well, the micro is not doing enough for him. I'll tell you that. Wow. Clem does not care. He picks up. The DT sees him, but he can do nothing about it. He can just yell angrily, doing his best Zeratul cosplay of, "Hey, you guys, we're about to have a big problem." And none of the Protoss believed him, and now they're going to die. Well, there goes the Colossus. There's one DT doing its best work. Not good enough. Clem takes game 1. More than enough. Showtime stuck without... Clem just starts things off. He starts the ball rolling as quickly as he can, and he keeps it rolling. Showtime tried to do, like, this cute Blink Stalker bait into Disruptor. Meanwhile, Clem just backhanded him across the face with a Banshee that did 3 times as much damage. You can tell where both players are comfortable. And ironically enough, while most Protoss you think of for their sneaky plays and their creative tactics, Showtime, and now this is a double-edged sword, is a double-edged side blade, if you would. He's not very comfortable when you get thrown off that much in the early game, especially against Clem. Whereas Clem is like, oh, okay, we're playing this game in the kiddie pool of lava. I don't know. Okay, sign me up. But game 2, heading to Death Aura. Hopefully Showtime can handle the early game a little better. I'm not sure. I feel like it was a bit of a reach. Jimmy, the game. No, not okay. It was a bit of a reach to go for 2-gate Blink Stalker into a Robo Bay and a 3rd. There's a thin margin, and that's the difference between the very best Terrans and everyone else. There's a thin slice, maybe even a single-digit number of Terrans that can find those timings consistently. Like the timings before Blink kicks in, but when you also can have enough units to do damage. Like, there is the difference between 7 Stalkers with Blink and 4 Stalkers without it is everything. And that's like a 30-second window maximum to do damage. And Clem found that exact window and used all of it. And that defined the whole game. He's not a big dude. He just clambers through the window, gets in there. You turn on your computer, you're like, wait a second, I had more probes here. You took all your hard drives with the probes on them, and then BuzzFeed made an article about how probes are now worth $12 million, and if you had those... Wait a second, that's Bitcoin. So maybe probes, though. Buy beanie probes today. We're mixing a lot of things here. Probu coin. Speaking of, the SCVs trying to get their very own from the claw machine. But that probe playing hard to get. The Marine shoots it in the face. Hard to dodge that. Why do the Marines never miss, but the Stalkers sometimes do? This is what's wrong with all those sci-fi movies where they have lasers that can be blocked. Maybe try bullets. You ever seen a Jedi dodge a bullet? No? Yeah, give the clone troopers M15s. Or 16s. Or 99s. Whatever. Or whatever the StarCraft Marines have. Wait, well, depends on who they're fighting. Oh yeah, it was a long time ago. Thank you, Twitch chat. It was a long time ago, which was before gunpowder was invented. Yes. Think about that. Back to Probucoin. Showtime going for what I would say is actually a safer opener. It feels like it could be riskier, but the Stargate is actually your most stable tool. Oh. Once again, the probe! The death mark! The deadliest form of tag. Every time an SCV gets tagged by a probe, it's marked for death by shade. And once again, the Adept comes in and murders. It's a Final Destination movie. I'm loving how Showtime is using that. Like, occasionally players have little tricks and plays that they'll make more. Like, maybe that's not the only thing they do. They're not the only player who does it, but Showtime using the probe mark multiple times now. I'm really liking it. Meanwhile, Clem gonna show that technically Hellions have more range than Adepts. And, I mean, it's a very technical thing, but of all the people to micro their Hellions against a unit that has barely one less range, I mean, Clem. So, I don't know. I think a lot of things Clem does can be, oh, hello. Wait, is there a mine? I don't know. Like, I don't even trust if there's a mine or not. There might be a mine. Does anybody see a mine? I don't think that... Okay, I could have checked the units tab. Sometimes with these Terrans, I'll think there isn't a mine, and then it just shows... Oh, speaking of... Welcome back! He recalls the Oracle while still activated to kill the Hellion. To the ends of the earth! Also, he didn't want to die, so there's that. But I'd say this is looking a lot more stable for Showtime. Loses 3 probes to the Hellion. But overall, neither player can really hurt each other badly now. We're not in the same scenario. Clem is not sending like a random medevac of units across. Showtime has seen that, and he's kept his Oracle alive. So both players kind of in the know now. Clem's going to be going for the more classical 3 racks tank timing. Give me a tank. Give me... Clem. Build a tank. 3. Is he not going for the tank? Is he going for just 3 racks bio? Oh, psh. Okay, whatever. I don't... Meanwhile, Showtime has kind of figured this all out in a timely manner. He's cutting his probes. Notice this. He's building charge, phoenixes, and no probes at the moment. Not going to add probes on until he gets up to 8 gates. So he's figured out this is going to be a 2-base timing out of Clem. He's going to get enough probes to make some use of his 3rd, but not to make himself vulnerable to this 3 racks timing. And that means right around that 50 probe mark, making sure you get your production up, making sure that +1 armor and charge are coming together, and you got enough phoenixes to shut down 1 drops and 2 be a part of the fight. Like 2 or 3 phoenixes aren't picking up tanks. They're easily targeted down, but 4 or 5 phoenixes are suddenly a real threat to medevacs and the Raven, as well as to key units like tanks. Revelation runs out, though Showtime has been on top. I think the change, for those that don't know, Revelation was changed to cost 25 energy, which was half as much as the 50 before, but it lasts half as much time. So it really benefits players who are very active on their oracles, and it hurts players who aren't. It's easier to both dodge and kind of negate as a Terran, but if a Protoss is on top of it, well, they're going to constantly have track of that army, like Showtime is doing here. And that's part of the reason the Stargate is such a good opener. The Oracle does whatever he needed to do. Now, this is a dangerous army. Combat shields and +1 and stim are all finishing, but Showtime tailored his response specifically for this. He's going to have the charge lots. He forces the siege up. He even pops the Guardian Shield, which is kind of like the peacock feathers of the attack. With that Guardian Shield popped, like that, you mean business, all right? You say, Mr. Terran player, I would kindly respect you and ask you formally to get the fuck out of here. And if they don't, you know what happens? Well, the Phoenixes will show them out, one way or another. So Showtime has successfully, through multiple methods, shut down Clem's attack, stopped it before it even started, and whittled it down to the point that he might end up being the aggressor anyways. That's a lot of charge lots, and Clem, he lost a few units and did nothing to Showtime's economy. Showtime has handled this beautifully. This is premium Showtime right here. Just shut down. That's what walls are about, right? You shut it down before it gets even close to hurting your innocent workers and your economy and your infrastructure. And that's what Showtime did with the active defense here. He didn't just sit behind his wall, he made sure that nothing even got close to it with an active defense. And here we have +1 finishing up. The Phoenixes are good on energy. He kept his sentries alive. They were never threatened. So he's got Guardian Shield, a ton of charge lots, and with +1 finishing in 8 seconds, is going up a ramp, but I think he could give it a shot here. He might go for the attack outright. Showtime thinking about it. He's sent out his Warp Prism indicating he might not commit all out. And look at the production tab here. He doesn't have to do damage. He's got +2, he's got extended thermal lance, blank 2 Colossi, the double robo. What does it mean? The Warp Prism getting a little far into the base and goes face to face with a missile turret, but the edge of the base has nothing to defend it. And this will slow down Clem in any sort of counterattack. The Phoenix is already in position to intercept or potentially do damage. Whittle Mines. Oh, the Zealots drawing the Whittle Mines into the SCVs. More SCVs gonna go down. This is damage that Clem cannot afford. He brings his army together. The Phoenixes are they find it. They see it. And it doesn't matter if you have the speed zones. The Phoenixes are some of the fastest units in the game. It looks like Clem is kind of committed to this attack. Unfortunately for him, Showtime... Oh, and those tanks, they're not sieged. Clem, caught with his stims down. He wants to go forward. He really wants to jump on that army. But Showtime is holding him at arm's length again. He pops the Guardian Shield. Clem forced to respect it. Blink is nearly completed. Thermal Lance, that important Colossus upgrade, is completed. And while the upgrades might not be there, the sheer amount of units. Showtime. Oh, he snipes the Raven. He snipes the most dangerous part of the army. And now in come the Zealots. Picks up the tanks. Drops them right in front of the charge lots. What else is left? Right now, Clem micros back, but the Zealots themselves are a danger, let alone anything else. A Widowmine clips an Oracle on the way. Here come the Archons to clean up what the Zealots left over. But overall, Clem, he's completely routed. There's a very ambitious tank still out there. Showtime even pulls back from that, minimizing hull damage. Showtime shuts this down. 2 Widowmines will scamper, and indeed they do scamper. But the Zealots hold the line and cut them down. Perfect positioning there as well. The wall holds. Whatever. That was just the German accent, okay? Die Mauer halts. I don't think that's the word for holds. Well, here we are. Das ist sehr gut. Terran is, yes. That's enough of that. Anyways. Good luck, Clem. Looking like the absolute reverse of last game. Showtime with a deadly army, Clem with no counter damage. So even if somehow this army was battled back, he just builds another one. Clem, I have no idea how he plans to hold this. He plans to fight and die, but dramatically. Here come the boys. The Vikings doing their best. Their best ain't remotely good enough. GG, Showtime ties it all up with Game 2. There you go. Now we got a series. Much better, looking a lot more comfortable with Showtime. That was actually, and it's not like you can just sit there and do your build. Showtime was actively responding to all his information. He was seeing what Clem was going for. He saw that there was a Raven and not a Medevac early, or a Banshee or a Liberator. So he didn't need the basic defenses early. He could get a third, but that means another attack could come later on, or at least earlier on than if he did an early aggression. So Showtime cut his probes at 50. Usually the numbers are 50 or 60. Nice round numbers, and also they're when you get either 1, some extra minerals at your third, or 2, you can potentially be mining some gas from your third. So Showtime just said, I want the charge lots. I want to make sure this attack, no one comes onto my lawn without me showing them my Guardian Shield. And oh, did he show him his Guardian? He saw, did you know that the radius of the Guardian Shield got buffed like a year and a half ago? Did you notice how big your Guardian Shield was? Probably not, because most Protoss players in Diamond, no offense, don't use Guardian Shield because their Templar are on the same hotkey because they use the Select All Army hotkey and pretend like they don't. No offense. Game 3. Of the ESL Open Cup Finals. It's just like, there's no way. I mean, I could, but there's so much. If I wanted to cover all the good games for the fans just in the weekly tournaments, it would be almost impossible. Especially since YouTube, which you should like and how did we forget? How did we wait till Game 3? If you don't like and subscribe, how will you see all the perfectly designed and artisanally manufactured arrows directing you to this video? You might be like, because of the arrows, Winter. But no! You gotta work for that! You gotta like, you gotta subscribe, you gotta leave a comment. You might even want to ring the bell, though I'm not sure that does anything. YouTube says like less than 400 people get notifications from it a month. Something like that. And I'm lucky enough to get significantly more than 400 views a month. So I don't know if the bell does anything. But it can't hurt. Or maybe it does. We're not sure about that. There's only one way to find out. Anyways. Don't worry. Nobody's proxying. Nobody's doing nothing. We're going to watch the probe tag. I'll keep you updated. Look, he tagged that SCV. That SCV is now marked for death. This SCV is building from inside the CC, which, in my opinion, is total bullshit. But the probe coming in for the tag looks up. The Marine would finish right now. That's what he's checking for. There's no Marine, there's no reactor. He knows that. He knows it's a Reaper on the way. So the probe going to hide. No, a probe does not hide. It tactically withdraws into a secure location, waiting for its moment, and then is immediately scouted by an SCV. So, and it tags that SCV in its hubris. The Reaper, already halfway across the map, does not turn around. Reaper goes for it. Clem abusing his Reaper perk, might I remind you. Getting a probe kill right before that battery finishes. But the probe is, wait, no, the Adept, but that wasn't one of the marked SCVs. Clem has adapted. the Reaper and 2 Marines, all of these together. Oh my god, the Reaper actually has more range than the Adept, but this is one of the most dangerous games one can play. Do it. Do the grenade. Oh my god. He didn't touch. Oh, I thought it had enough HP too, Clem. I did too. I think he thought that the Reaper would heal just enough to take a shot from the Adept. But, well, the Adept died, so there's that. Oh, what? What? Showtime. But you had... It was such a good Stargate game. Why? What have you done? Showtime has a great Stargate game. And then he's like, I'm back to the Twilight, baby! Showtime doing his best Zest impression here to counter Clem's Byung cosplay. Oh my. I mean, I don't think Clem will expect it, but does that matter? This really feels like when you do stuff like this, you're playing into Clem's hand. Clem is one of the strongest, I guess, playstyle players. When he's in his wheelhouse, which means a thing that I think has been lost to the annals of time. When he's in his comfort zone, you know it. All right? When he peaks, you'll know. Whereas Showtime peaked last game. That was peak Showtime. So, we will see. The deets are on the way. The Cape Boys are out in force. Like, I don't understand. Like, Showtime, DT into Rebel Bay on 2 base. It doesn't seem like it makes sense. There is a turret. The DT just walks right back out. Okay. And then, yeah, the Prism died. So, this was terrible. All of this was terrible. Why? Why did you do this? Like... Why? Okay, so that did nothing. In fact, I don't know what Clem saw, but I guess he was just generally prepared. Remember, last game was a Stargate, so getting a Cyclone and even a Viking is not that weird. So that was terrible. That did literally nothing. That did less than nothing, because he lost the Prism, and he spent all that money on DTs, killing 0 SCVs. So, well, make that 1 SCV. So I guess that's more. There's an Archon. Clem has an army here. There's no stim. That 1 shield battery has a lot of heavy lifting to do. Showtime realizes that he's got the pop the probe out with the assimilator. Do the assimilator thing. Showtime, please. It's the most wow, Clem backs off. There's no charge done. He just cancels the What? There's a Robo Bay. I mean, I knew there was a Robo Bay, but he went Disruptor. Who is this? Showtime. He's going full Zest. That's not necessary. It might be a good sign. I don't know. But what? Showtime keeps handing the controller off to Zest. I mean the mouse. I'm not sure with Protoss. This is just a completely different player than the last game. It's just a completely different style. It seems to be alternating here. He's slowly making his way back to that more stable, like, upgrade focused Twilight. I don't know, like, he's getting back to a more standard composition. I'm surprised Clem didn't commit there, but Clem did go for a quick 3rd CC. So just slowing down anything Showtime's doing, it cost him almost nothing. He was still building up his production, he was still building up his economy. He brought 2 SCVs with him to build turrets, that's about it. So now Clem is at 62 to 66 workers. Clem has a 1-1, a +1 at least advantage. Showtime's just kind of sitting back here because he doesn't have enough units to really do anything yet. He's got 4 gates with 4 more on the way. That is not an attacking amount. Is Blink done? No. There is no blink. Don't do it. Don't. Stop. Clem's like, maybe I'd do the little edge of the base thing that wastes everyone's time. Showtime angrily takes out his frustrations on the rocks as Clem somehow dodged all vision. He's looking for a fourth. I think Clem's a little confused as well. Clem's like, wait a second, do you have nothing? Is that your army? It's not his whole army, okay? But the interference matrix, the disruptor, some unlucky marines. There is extended thermal lance here. But the tanks can help zone this out. With charge lots, it's a little dangerous. He's really holding on to that Raven. He's really waiting for it. That's not necessarily a mistake. He's waiting until the commitment. Archon just dies. This is quite a tough position to dislodge. Multiple tanks, several Widow Mines. Now, there are no medevacs, which I'm noticing, and maybe Showtime's noticing now. So every stim is kind of permanent. Okay, well, here comes Showtime. He waited for his upgrades. He's got him here. Interference Matrix on one Colossi. The medevacs show up a little late to the party. Great split out of Clem. Colossus steps a bit far forward. Oh, the cavalry has arrived. Wait a second here. Terran! Wait a second. Oh, and he picks up those two medevacs and decides to go on a sightseeing mission. A little confusing. Showtime saw an opportunity and pounced on it, but almost at that exact moment did Clem reinforce his army. So that means Clem didn't have the overwhelming forces at the start of the battle, so it made it a lot more difficult to clean things up. Showtime also couldn't engage the next round of reinforcements because he didn't have enough buffer for his Colossi there, which need room to work. Okay, they like their personal space. That's why they keep their thermal lances extended, which some people find offensive, but it depends on if they're on attack or not. Meanwhile, drops, looking for an opportunity. The Guardian shield pops, indicating an angry posture, as always. The Widow Mines were not cleaned up near the center of the map here either. I think he fired a disruptor shot, but those Widow Mines now have an armory, which means he requires detection or a well-placed disruptor shot to deal with them. Showtime has been allowed to get 3 bases. +2's on the way. We got Ghosts shaping up as well. The Observer's seeing all this on the right side, so that's allowed Showtime to have some army placed here. Clem continually repositioning. I wonder if he suspects the Observer based on the position. Oh, those Widow Mines. Big hit. Finally cleans him up, but guess what? Widow Mine at the back. Remember this Liberator? Clem did, and now Showtime did as well. This Observer is saving Showtime. This is giving him, because the map is dark and full of Terrans. This Observer, and Clem is one of the best at repositioning his army, of shuffling things around until you lost track of what you were looking for. But seeing the commitment, he has to know. This gives it away so much. Well. Oh! Well. How did he know? Clem, come on. Showtime gets a dirty preemptive shot off, and even Clem can't react in time for that. One Observer going to be found. There were some ghosts down with that. I'm not sure how many. He lost 2. 3-3 starts. Showtime he's still on the defensive here, but he's maxed out. He's got 3-3 on the way. He's got to put something out on the map now or pick a fight. You got to figure out what your best move is. And right now, Clem has the army. Showtime EMP lands. Does he have enhanced shockwaves? He does not. He doesn't have that radius upgrade. There is no storm, but there are plenty. EMP is never a bad thing against Protoss. There's no situation in which it's bad. It's just situations in which it could be more gooder. It's kind of the whole idea. Disruptor shots. Clem forced to split, but splits back well. Vikings looking for an opportunity, not finding it. The 4th base for Showtime in the top left is safe. This is kind of an awkward scenario where Showtime has to go through the rocks on his side. But he is chasing down Clem here. Most of, if not all of the armies are dancing around in the center of the map now. Clem working his way around, looking for an angle, waiting for Showtime to make a mistake. A bit of an awkward location here between a rock and a hard place. The Vikings finding a dead zone where the Stalkers can't easily engage. The EMPs are landing. Stalkers move to intercept. Colossi finding their mark, but the Vikings knocking them down as well. The Disruptors, are they charged? It's unclear. More reinforcements warping in as Clem knocks down the Colossi. He finds a lot of the Gateway army. The Disruptor's not with this. Reinforcements on the way. Wait a second. This is turning against Showtime. More EMPs landing. It's just Stalkers microing back. But Zealots coming in from the left side. Clem picks up, and some of them will get out. But the survivors will be cut down. And Showtime overall looks like he took something of a win in that battle. It's hard to tell. I don't know if it was as much of a win as he could have, or as much of a win as he needed in order to press the issue. Clem doing good work, but he didn't kill a base. He killed the Colossi. He got a lot of the Archons. And whittling it down to mostly Gateway units is good, but Disruptors are still on the field. That's a pretty nasty choke point of Clem's own design. Showtime now reversing the position here. That a very brave Marine out in front. Big Gabe showing his face here. I believe one of these players knocked him out to get here in the Big Gabe Weekly. But Showtime, only one of these players has recall, so Showtime not feeling too risky going up the ramp here. He doesn't want to get caught from all angles. Clem is shaping up for the surround of sorts. But those choke points work both ways here. Not sure where the Disruptors are going with this. Fires off another couple shots. Clem only gets hit with one. More reinforcements. Remember the DTs? Showtime finally did. Showtime a little disjointed here. Almost hitting his own DTs. There is detection. The ramp is going to hold the line against the Zealots. Some of the boys will repair. Showtime, a lot of Disruptors. At this point, just lifting his own racks. A couple more shots go off, blinking past him, looking for more. More Disruptor dodges here. Showtime, the reinforcements from the side. More Disruptor shots, looking for an opportunity. Clem runs away, but it's not everything. It's not enough. It's unclear how this fight is going to end up. The Warp Prism still warping in Zealots. The Disruptor's starting to fall back. He needs to recall those. It's time to get out of there. The reinforcements are not going to be enough. Get the Disruptors out of there, Showtime. He's firing shots and he's covering his retreat. Showtime overstayed his welcome. And Clem held the line with minimal SCV losses. He's still at 83. Both players getting that close to breaking their opponent. Whoa, 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 whoa! Danger balls! Danger balls! If they're on their own, you can just pick up. He just stims. Oh my god, what a split! I can't believe it's not butter. He gets 1, 2, 3. Liberator strays into the Stalkers. More Disruptor shots. Gonna run him around. Clem only eats 1 or 2. 1 or 2 losses. There's the Liberator in the top left corner. Both players see it as he dodges back. Observers spotting this. I think Clem saw them. I'm not sure. He's like wow. The mules exist. Important fact. Showtime, he doesn't, like, Disruptors are hard to end the game with at this stage. The Liberator's on the field. With how good Clem is at maneuvering his bio, this is kind of where Colossi start to shine. Because Colossi don't miss. When they attack, they hit something. And it's not your own units. So that's a lot of danger balls out of Showtime. Purification Nova sent out. Managing this for both sides, incredibly difficult. You gotta be real careful with the Blink Stalkers, but also, of course, the bio is a split second away from being obliterated as well. Another Liberator coming in from the side. Blink Stalkers will engage. There are probably some sweet spots where the ranged Liberators can get damage done. A scan spots there's no base on the right side to deal with. Stargate begins as he realizes that Liberators could at some point be in locations his ground army can't even engage. Tempest may be required. Showtime is not maxed out despite his best efforts. Clem has maxed out and he's on top of all this. There's nothing to defend the probes and Showtime doesn't have many to lose. 17 go down. He's going for something of a base trade. But there's a reason they say never base trade at Terran. It's mostly because their buildings can fly away. But there's... And their units are super mobile. The question will be, where's the recall? 1 robo down. 2 robos down. It feels like the base trade is a desperation move. It was not the plan. It was not what he wanted, but it's what he's got. The main could be recalled too. Showtime is trying to hamstring Clem's economy. His own disruptors forces Zealots to pull back awkwardly. SCVs will die as they gut each other. EMPs come out to deal with the deets. This doesn't seem like a good idea for Showtime, but he's getting the damage done. He's dismantling Clem's bases about as fast as Clem is dismantling his. If you're going to recall, now's the time before he EMPs the Nexus. He recalls! This is it! This is the play! The Disruptors come back, he fires the shots! But they hit everything! Did he fire all his shots? Oh my god! What did we tell you about shooting off all your shots? Oh wait, the flank! From the back! Wait a second! Showtime comes in! No one expected it! Clem caught off guard, but is it enough? This planetary is a big deal. This is most of the economy. The Liberators are coming in. He gets a full medevac. He's looking for more. The Liberator's a little out of position. He might have an opportunity. Scans forward. The Disruptor's coming up, but the Liberators will zone him out of the base. Showtime still has something of an economy. So does Clem. Clem is mining from both sides of the map. Recall is on cooldown. The army supply is just not there for Showtime. He's got to catch this army somewhere, and he's running out of time and options for where to do it. He's going for the production, but Clem already has the unit. Oh, Showtime dives on the Liberators. He's in Clem's main now. Will Clem be able to break back into his base? The most dangerous force field of all. The Disruptors. The Liberators, he blinks. The Disruptor shots, point blank. But there's just so much bio. Showtime starts to even up the supply, but the bio army's still dangerous. He picks up and only hits his own DT. The Disruptors, there's only 3 Stalkers left. These Disruptors, oh, they don't have much left to do. Clem is just dodging them with medevacs. It's getting real confusing right now. What's happening? Oh no, a dangerous game, but he's out of Ruptor shots, and he's out of Stalkers, and he's out of dreams. No, go back. They're still, okay, well, this is a power move right here. Yeah, good luck getting out. No. Okay. All right. Wait. Oh, whoa. Oh, just when you thought it was over. Okay, that is... Oh, those aren't toys. Okay. And here comes Showtime for another round. I can't believe. After everything there, that happened. Of all the Charslots get distracted by the squirrels. I mean, the SCV's over to the side. The Liberator's desperately sieging. He blinks past the Liberation. Oh, here we go again. Wait, no. This is bad. Oh, what? And he's out of there. Oh, meanwhile, wow. Okay, well, it's all over. Whoa. Yeah, Clem comes out on top of that whirlwind. Showtime tried to keep up with the madness. It just felt like Clem was a half step ahead. Showtime tried to get crazy, but Clem was born crazy. But to his credit, there were a couple times where it looked like Clem would just bring everything together and knock him out. But Showtime went toe-to-toe. What a game. It's not over. It is match point. Which face of Showtime? Do we get Zest? Does Zest hand the controller back to Showtime for Game 4? Or are we going to get wild again? Because it feels like we've seen... It's just been Clem this whole time. Like, Clem's been playing. Clem's been playing as Clem plays. But every other game has been this. Why are we going DTs? What is happening? I don't understand why we're just going DT. That's not a thing that people do. It's kind of working-ish, but Showtime getting wild in here. I guess playing Clem straight up is also a difficult proposition, so I can't blame him too much. All right. Oh, what? Okay. I'm sorry. We do have to take a moment for a word from our sponsors. Before match point. We'll be right back. Don't pause ad block or skip, because otherwise you're killing esports. That's a direct quote. I'll be right back. Hey there! Are you a person who watches StarCraft? Wow, me too! And if you love watching StarCraft, you should like and subscribe on this video, so that way you can check out more StarCraft. You're like, but Winter, I'm not watching on YouTube, I'm watching on Twitch. Well, have you heard of Prime Gaming? Because if you have Amazon Prime, like you know you do, or someone with poor password protection, you know your own birth date, has Amazon Prime, you can connect it with Twitch and get a subscription for free every single month. For free. And every moment you don't subscribe to twitch.tv/ okay Google, subscribe to twitch.tv/wintergaming with Amazon Prime for free. And every moment you don't, you're losing money from me. So subscribe with Prime Gaming, and all your dreams will come true, as long as your dreams are up to and limited to subscribing with Prime Gaming. And also, and also, if you want to check out the ESL Open, if you want to be a speed bump for players with multiple times your MMR, well, you can check out the ESL Open every Monday at usually around 7 p.m. local time, whichever server it is. Though, if you really want to play in the Korean version, you can. Or if the Koreans want to take money from us very sad North Americans, they can, and they will, and they have been. So, let that be no object to wasting several minutes of Clem's time. Every Monday, you can be part of the ESL Open, and look forward to I Am Katowice coming up soon. Thank you, good luck, and good night. Thank you guys for sticking around. We got a shout out to our sponsors. Game 4, match point. Clem up 2-1. Showtime. So, for those like wondering why, well, let's see if this is the card coming out. Because Zest is pretty well known for being a very binary player, where some days, usually the majority, he looks like possibly the best Protoss or even best in the world. And some days, he looks like he's got somewhere else to be as soon as possible. I think just this last GSL Super Tournament, you saw both sides of Zest. I didn't think of Showtime as one of those players, but this series so far has been very, very different game. I like that. That last game was insane. I really didn't. I think Clem didn't really expect Showtime to play like that. Clem's over here trying to find the army, whittle it down, trying to pick a good fight, and Showtime's like, "Oh yeah, I'll base trade." What? And it almost worked. It never should have worked, but he actually nearly managed it. And of course, close doesn't really count, but counts for something, and mostly for casters to have the opportunity to fill time. Oh, the probe tag. Tag the other one. Oh, wait. No, 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 no. He tried to tag him, but he instead bit off more than he could chew. And also, I doubt probes chew anything. Much like most Protoss are. It would be very weird if they were chewing without mouths. SCV scouted the gate expand. It looks like a Stargate. It smells like a Stargate. Crispy. How does it smell crispy? That's the Stargate smell. Smells like it just came out of a package and like they right after they printed it. It's a little gross. But also there's a Stargate, so I mean, don't knock it till you try it. He wasn't upgrading Warp Gate, which is kind of your big start. You're gonna get one gate or another. It's either Stargate or it's Warp Gate. Otherwise, it's hashtag Gate. Because you're embezzling Vespene gas from hard-working Protoss like Showtime. Where's the gas going? Explain yourself. Adept shading in. I feel like a second Adept almost gives away the whole Stargate deal. Not necessarily, but it's rare when you go for more than one Adept. And don't go Stargate. A Phoenix. Ooh. That is my commentary. That is something new. He's not going to even try for the Oracle. Clem. Okay, so here's the details on this. Not just letting SCVs transfer, but if you close the depots, before the Adepts get to the ramp, the Adepts just go off to the side because their magical AI brains know you can't get up that ramp. But if you close the depots after they're already going up the ramp, then you could potentially bait them up the ramp and give them less time to react. And occasionally, like against lower level players, obviously it works perfectly. Showtime's pretty good, he knows that trick. But occasionally you'll be able to catch even someone like Showtime on that. That's the most... Okay, well... Is he gonna try to drag the other... What am I watching? What? What? You just gonna leave? Oh, I guess he was repairing. Okay. So at this point, Clem knows that wasn't a hallucinated Phoenix. For many reasons, including the medevac dying. And the Phoenix not. The Phoenix is, like... He just shows them. He just shows the first Phoenix. So, he's just up in there. I mean... It's... Okay, it's a different way to go about this. Definitely, it's almost the polar opposite of last game. Once again, we're back to this. With the Phoenixes, even though the Phoenixes are something you could maybe sneak in, and, like, suddenly have 4 Phoenixes that Clem doesn't expect, he sends the very first one out to scout, almost like a hallucinated Phoenix. And now he's just scouring the map looking for potentially Widowmine drops. So we're back to Demour, not Showtime. Those are two different people. I'm now convinced. Twilight Council and Forge. This is all the makings of what we saw in Game 2 on Death Aura. With plenty of charge lots. With Stargate units to kind of keep track of what Clem's up to. This game, there's a quicker third base from Clem. And the upgrades are going to be on point. So Clem is more focused on getting 3 bases up than he is on doing some sort of early attack. Though at some point there will be an attack. Robo Bay on the way. And he's gonna go straight. Will he build a disruptor? Phoenix is finding some SCVs. He's still building Phoenixes. Was that 7? Healthy number. It's likely a Colossus. Usually when you have Phoenixes to cover against the Vikings. Colossi become easier to keep alive. Of course, Phoenixes are pretty fragile. It doesn't feel like Clem's going to have any sort of window here. Yep, Colossus on the way. Double Robo Colossus, almost a mech Protoss here. Showtime's debating just lifting Marines now. It looks like Clem's just going to do a 200 supply. Are you really going to move out? No. He's already got an armory on the way. The armory at this timing indicates that Clem is just kind of gonna sit back. He's gonna chill. He sees that there's a gas at the third. He sees 2 Immortals. He knows there's a Robo. And he knows it's probably not going to stop at the Immortals, let's be honest here. I'd be a little surprised to see him move out with combat shields. It's not out of the question. But it does kind of feel like we're going to 200 supply. It's not that far off. Showtime just taking constant while you don't need observers if you got Phoenixes all up in his grill. And Colossi production will continue. Alright, Clem's going to move out with his combat shields heading up. It feels... Well, Clem, remember, has not seen the Colossi. He doesn't know exactly when they're coming out. So, if he hits B4... Now, hypothetically... Ooh. 1, if he picks off some Phoenixes, of course. But if he hits B4, there are critical mass, probably 4 or so Colossi. There's a chance doing big damage. But I feel like this is a scan the Colossi and back off situation. I don't think Showtime's going to give him that opportunity, though. He's confident. Here comes Clem.
Research
Spots
complete.
any amount of Colossi, scans. I don't know. You really going to go for that? Okay. He's going to try to use the rocks here. The tanks, of course, quite good at that. Not much besides the Colossi that can hit him. Clem working it. Working around the side. 1-1 is done. The Phoenix is looking for an opportunity. There are 5 tanks involved in this. The upgrades are 1-1 to just +1. Clem in the advantage. Showtime waiting until... Well, now. Now is good. Now works. Here come the charge lots out in front. Guardian Shield helping out. Tanks picked up, put back down, picked right back up again. The first wave of Marines and tanks shut down. The Immortals bashing through. The Colossi standing tall. And most of the important Terran units will fall. The Bio now going to run around and look for another opportunity, but Showtime just slammed that back.
It's about time.
And of course, Phoenix out there. Clem going to try to work with his bio units, and this is the vulnerability of Showtime's army. He doesn't have... He's up to 8 gates, but he doesn't have superior upgrades quite yet. Yeah, but what are you going to do? You're going to drop the... Don't do it. Don't do it, Clemican. He has Colossi. What's your plan? You can't recall those. If Terrans had recall, they'd be unstoppable. You got to get the Fusion Core Medevac upgrade. Medevac speed. I think it's still called Rapid Reignition Thrusters, but I'm not 100% sure, and that's kind of why it's such a joke. I think it's underused, though. I think the Fusion Core, like... People should get it more often. Not too much more often, but a little bit. 2 Colossi is still a real danger to this mostly Marine army. Brave Zealot. Whittle meme. Yeah. Oh, Showtime is on the attack. He wants this. There's not much anti-air for the medevacs themselves. Clem gonna try to slip his way out. Goes for an Archon. Picks it off. A few units shaved off as well. Clem has the supply lead, as he's just been pumping out Bio and Vikings. Showtime just now finished up his +2/+1, but Clem's done with +2/+2. The upgrade's not a huge deal in these fights with these unit compositions. Wow, he was really scared about that Bio. Notice how Showtime has no vision. He was pretty convinced the rest of the Bio army was heading for his third. Unfortunately or fortunately, I'm not sure which one. Well, actually, now it's unfortunate, because the brunt of the Bio is headed directly at the front. Showtime realizes that, brings the army together. Clem going for an all-out tank push. Bringing things. Consolidating. Showtime. Heading with charge lots in towards the main. He's actually nearly maxed out. He can't warp in that much. Clem gonna press the issue. There's a disruptor in the mix here. The warp prism kind of just flies by the turret. Only can warp in 2 zealots because, once again, he is maxed out. A single medevac about. Clem is in such an awkward spot here because Clem is also maxed out, so he doesn't have many reinforcements. Disruptors shave off a tank. Well, Clem isn't going to be maxed out because the zealots are just kind of killing all the stuff. So there is that. Disruptor! Center mass looking for more. He unsieges, and Showtime will gain that position immediately. Anything that gets taken out is warped in on the other side as the Clem sandwich is shaping up with him as the juicy meat. That was a weird way to phrase it. Moving on. +3 attack is done right as Showtime is in position to attack into the 4th. 20 SCVs down. Showtime losing almost no important units. He has lost 0 disruptors. He's lost 43 charge lots, and that's most of it. A scan looking for the warp prism. I don't know if that's pragmatic or a lot of panic. Meanwhile, the charge lots just kind of come running in. Meanwhile, Showtime's incredibly deadly army is at the 3rd. Clem moves out of position. Clem's gonna step in again. Does he have the opportunity to just snipe the planetary and get out? It's possible. The disruptors, the most dangerous force fields. He lines them up, looks for the shots. Great splits out of Clem, but can he actually save the planetary? No, he cannot. Meanwhile, 2 medevacs heading out on the right side. Oh my god, Clem stems onto the army. He's tearing through everything. The Colossi knocked down. Clem seizes the opportunity. He's still going to lose a lot in the process, but a double drop at the natural is going to be cleaned up pretty easily. But Clem gets a lot here. He gets all of the Colossi and everything but a handful of Stalkers. So, while he lost a ton, he lost a lot of SCVs, he lost a lot of army, he got many of the important pieces. The Colossi, the Archons, Immortals, Disruptors. Like I was saying, Showtime had only lost charge lots. Now he's lost 3 Archons, 2 Immortals, 4 Colossi, 3 Disruptors, 2 Sentries. He needs to get those Sentries back. We know how important Guardian Shield is for so many reasons. There are DTs all over the place. I'm not sure what they're doing. Clem is still on thin ice here, but that was definitely what he needed. Now, there's still plenty. Like, he still had 2 Robo-Protoss. Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out! Ooh, very unlucky ghost. The DTs on the once and future main. Oh, there they go. It's a whole convention of Cape boys, all right. They were outside. They were loitering around. They hop back in their Ford Explorer and get the hell out of there. Or something like that. The Terrans don't know. They can't see them. EMPs come through. Vikings on the deck. That's a play. More disruptors finding... Wow. Essentially... Wow. But the DTs from the back! Surprise! Well, okay, never mind. Surprise to you. Well, that was interesting. Oh my god, Clem is insane. The thing is, though, the economy was whittled down so much that Clem can't afford to trade 1-for-1. Even if one shot hits, and one shot hits. Showtime. Even before Clem was typing GG. The economy wasn't there. You can't go toe-to-toe with half the income. Showtime holds the line. And again, he does enough to survive. Okay, who gets the controller this game? It really when Showtime opens Stargate, he takes control of the match. And from there, it seems like he's in the driver's seat the whole match until the win. He starts DTs and things are like... It's really the difference between hopping in... I don't know, like either you can drive to work at the speed limit, comfortably, get your seatbelt on, get your graviton beams charged, or you're riding like your uncle's quadcopter with his friend Zeratul in the back seat in something that looks like it doesn't even seat one. It's like, all right, I guess we're doing this. And on Pillars of Gold, match point, the ace match. Which is it gonna be? Clem has looked consistent throughout the series on both sides of this story. But it's time for Showtime to show what time he will show this. Like and subscribe. And that uncle's name is Jimmy Rayner, and he smells like alcohol. But that's just revolution you smell, okay? Shut up, Matt. I don't have a problem. You have a problem. Mask. He's a bad dude. And he runs a lot of bad boys. Alright? And we gotta get rid of... Okay, Jimmy. Alright. My girlfriend murdered 4 billion people, but I still... Okay, alright, Jim. Stop. Put it down. I saw this dude in the hallway, and he said there was a prophecy. Okay, Jimmy. Alright. And whatever you say. The probe has marked that SCV for death, though Clem has become wise to the situation. Tag this one too. This one too. Let him know. Mark your territory. Do it. No. What do you want? Like, he could just fly his bill. Oh my god. Probe likes to live life on the edge. Come on, hit me again. Dude, you're on 19. I don't know how casinos work. Hit me again. I don't... That's a bunker. In the fog of war. But the probe sees it. And he's gone. And just like that, you want to see a bunker disappear. For the same price as salvaging it, by the way. Stargate. Okay. It's like the Mauer is back. But what comes out of that Stargate? Will we see a revelation on how to win the series? Or maybe he's just putting his loss on stasis. What am I watching? Clem is like, what units? What is the lowest amount of units I can use to kill an adept? We tried 2 Marines and a Reaper, and that worked. Let's try 1 SCV, 1 Marine, and 1 Reaper. 1 SCV, 1 Marine, and 1 Reaper walk into a bar. And Jimmy was there drinking. God damn it, Jimmy! What are you doing? Meanwhile, wait, what? Okay, now we got a Reaper, a Hellion, and a Marine. Did anyone have that on their bingo cards? Anyone? I don't... There's also... No, wait, now. He killed an Adept, but there's another Adept. They just keep coming. Wait. No. The 2 Adepts counter this. I'm pretty... Both these units have more range than Adepts, but good luck with that. It's Phoenixes again. Showtime is so serious about his scouting, he makes real phoenixes. None of those fake knockoff phoenixes that they try to sell you as sentries. Alright. Sentries, they don't even actually do damage. They try to pretend like they make real units. They try to pretend like they do real damage. Guardian Shield's pretty good, but don't try to be something you're not, alright? Michael Jordan was good at basketball, okay? He wasn't good at stopping Terran armies. Not that we know of, at least. It's all a conspiracy to sell more books that he didn't write, of course. He was too busy playing basketball. We all know this. Anyways, you know who just got dunked on? That Hellion! But there are more where that came from. Clem coming out again with, like, the anti-Stargate build, though the Phoenixes seem like they're kind of a counter to this. That might have been why the Phoenixes in the first place, to deal with the anti-Stargate build that Clem did in Game 1. Because if you have an Oracle, the Oracle easily gets shut down, but the Phoenixes can kind of constantly harass this army, so we're in a little bit of a weird scenario where the build that was designed to counter the early Stargate from Clem is now being countered by the Stargate because he decided to build Phoenixes. This one right here, boys. You stop right there. That's the Reaper. Phoenixes. Going about their business. Wait. The tactical... Wait, what is this army? Rainer's Raiders back again. Oh, yeah. Bring me 2 SCVs. And a couple Vikings and a Cyclone. And what's that? Is that a Hellion? Got any of those Vulture bikes? Jimmy! How many times? Okay. We'll take the Hellions. Well, here we are. Against... Wow, that's a lot of Phoenixes. Clem is just up in here. There's one shield battery that has a lot to do. Almost as much heavy lifting as the Phoenixes. Shield battery down for the count. Cyclone's in the air. Colossus shows up to the party. Oh, that's a tank as well. Tank and Cyclone. But wait. Okay. Well. The tank. The bunkers will never be complete. That's 0 for 3 bunkers here. Shaq at the free throw line of bunkers. Clem, of course, tried to go drop those Marines somewhere else. They don't have stim, they don't have combat shields, but they have a dream. They don't have plot armor either. So, I'm not entirely sure what he plans to do with them, but good luck with that. Whereas, yeah, Showtime, it feels like the Phoenixes instead of Oracle Opener were everything against this Clem early game. The just not slowing down the Phoenixes to make an Oracle first has given him all the space in the world. That looked dangerous, but he shut it down pretty solid. Lost a couple Phoenixes, 4 total in here. But it cost Clem a lot. He's down 16 workers. This is exactly where every Terran player has been, and this is exactly where every Terran player hates to be. Clem took his shot. He moved out, he went for the attack, and he didn't lose, but he most definitely didn't win. It is very clear who won that. So now he has to sit there looking at way too goddamn many probes. He knows that's not the whole army. Okay, he knows more than half the army's probably either walking across the map, probably not walking across the map, or at least in the main waiting for the drop. But Clem can't really do anything about it. He's kind of just got to build his army and hope for the best. Because the Phoenixes are constantly scouting. There's no way he's walking head-on into that right now. Showtime is looking very strong. Well, some cracks in the armor. A couple go down there. Nice intercept. And, of course, it's Clem. You give him an inch and he'll take a kilometer. But Showtime has a nice position here. He doesn't have upgrades. He doesn't have Archons. Okay, wait, he does have a Templar archive, so wait for it. And just like that, I'll make Archons magically appear. Showtime. Archons magically. Okay, one more time. Archons magically. up here. Showtime stream cheating again. So many weeks into the future. Classic Showtime. Clem is... No, watch out, that's a Protoss army! Oh, this is such an awkward position, but the Colossi are a little late to the party. The tanks don't really want to be there. The Archons are soaking a lot of damage, but the tanks get dropped down. The reinforcing charge lots are a lot. They're a lot to deal with. It looked like Clem might be able to stand his ground, but the Warp Prism made all the difference, as so much of the time it does. And now Showtime is within striking distance of the third, and Clem is within one fight of losing this tournament. A few more Archons. The scan... Now, if Clem's in a nice spot, he lost tanks, and that's really what was helping there. That was the danger to Showtime. With only a couple tanks and some Vikings, oh, the boys must be pulled, and the boys are pulled. He's got to crush this fight. Does he have enough? Juggling back the Colossi. Clem being whittled down, the Archons being targeted. He's doing his best. The Marauders in front. It's not enough. Showtime holds. Showtime has enough, and Showtime has adapted to Clem's aggressive style, and Demauer holds. GG. He mixed in a little of that crazy DT action, a little bit of wild. His day job is going Stargate, but at night the Cape Boys come out. But mostly Stargate, though. So he comes back to that safe style, and he comes back strongly enough with a victory. Takes down Clem, winning 3-2, a pretty even match. But congratulations on the ESL Open Cup Finals win. If you enjoyed my breakdown, like and subscribe, and be like, wow, Showtime carried by the power of Protoss and actively scouting like 48 times a minute and tailoring his response directly to exactly what Clem was doing. Easy game. Or something along those lines. Thank you for watching. Congratulations. Good luck. And have fun.